All right, let's talk about something every single athlete goes through, that moment when your own mind feels like your biggest opponent. Today, we're going to break down exactly why that happens in the heat of competition and, more importantly, give you the mental tools to get back to playing freely. So let's get into it.
You know the feeling, right? It's a critical point in the game. But instead of just playing, you start hearing that voice in your head, replaying the last mistake, worrying about the score, wondering what the coach is thinking. And just like that, everything gets heavy. Your movements feel stiff, and that feeling of flow is just gone. That internal noise, that's what we're here to understand and get a handle on.
So, we're going to dig into what's actually happening in your brain when the pressure cranks up. And then I'm going to give you some really clear, practical tools you can start using today to stay present, stay automatic, and really take command of your performance when it counts. Okay, first up, the overthinking trap. And it's so important to get this right from the start. If this happens to you, you are not alone, and it is definitely not a sign that you're weak. This is probably the most important thing we can do. Reframe the problem. This has nothing to do with you not being mentally tough. It's your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do, just at the absolute worst time. It's a biological switch that flips under pressure, and once you understand it, you can learn how to manage it. And this is what that shift actually does to you. When the pressure hits, your brain switches from that smooth, automatic, just doing it mode to a conscious, deliberate, how am I doing this mode? And that shift just kills performance. Your reactions get slower, your muscles tighten up, and that in-the-zone feeling completely evaporates. All right, so let's get into the science of what's really going on inside your head, because understanding this is the real first step to taking back control. So, you've got this part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex. In the classroom, it's an absolute superstar. It analyzes, plans, and helps you figure things out. But in sports, when it gets overactive, it's a total disaster. The same functions that help you ace a test are what create hesitation on the field. Your brain is literally trying to help, but it ends up hijacking the whole process. And this is what it feels like. Suddenly, a pass you've made 10,000 times feels weird, clumsy even. Your focus flips inward, so you're thinking about your feet instead of reading the play. And if there's any fear of making a mistake, well, that just cranks up the volume on that internal voice, making everything feel even worse. So if you only take one thing away from this section, let it be this. Overthinking is not a skill problem. It's a focus problem. That's it. Your attention is just pointing in the wrong direction, inward at yourself, instead of outward at the game. And the good news is, focus is a skill. It's something you can absolutely train.
Okay, so we know why it happens. Now for the really important part. How do we fix it? This next section is all about the practical, hands-on tools you can use to get control back when you need it most. We're going to focus on 3 really powerful strategies. And look, these aren't complicated mental gymnastics. They're simple, actionable techniques designed to get you out of that analytical head and back into your athletic, reactive body. The first strategy is the most direct one. You can't just tell yourself to stop thinking. It doesn't work. Instead, you have to give your brain something else to do. Latch your attention onto something outside of your own head. The seams on the basketball, the opponent's hips, the catcher's mitt. That simple shift outside of yourself immediately quiets that internal noise. A fantastic way to do this is with simple action words, or keywords. These are short, one-word commands that replace a whole paragraph of anxious thoughts. So instead of thinking, okay, bend your knees, keep your elbow in, don't mess this up, you just think smooth. See? It's a command, not an analysis. Next up, building a routine. You know, elite athletes don't just hope for focus. They build a system to create it. A simple, repeatable routine acts like an anchor for your mind, keeping it from drifting into that overthinking trap. And it can be as simple as this: one physical action, one mental cue, and one tactical thought. This is a perfect real-world example. This setter created a super simple 3-second routine that automatically pointed her focus to the right place. It grounded her physically with a breath, mentally with a cue word, and tactically by scanning the defense. It made her skills automatic, even in the tightest matches. That consistency is what kills overthinking. And our third strategy is all about making things simpler. Overthinking is what happens when your brain is trying to juggle way too much information at once. So what's the solution? You have to deliberately reduce that mental load. Don't try to remember 5 different coaching points during a play. Just focus on one thing. Serena Williams was an absolute master at this. She used those little pauses between points as micro resets. A deep breath, a quick look at her racket strings. Those weren't just random habits. They were deliberate actions to clear the last point, reset her attention, and stop any negative thoughts from spiraling. Every single stoppage in play is an opportunity for you to do the exact same thing.
And this brings us to such a critical idea. The goal isn't to have a perfectly quiet, empty, Zen-like mind. I mean, that's pretty unrealistic in the middle of a game, right? The goal is to have a directed mind. It's about you becoming the director of your own attention and pointing it where it's actually going to help you.
Okay, so we've covered the why and the how. Now let's pull it all together into a simple, practical game plan that you can literally take with you into your very next competition. Here it is, and notice how simple and actionable this all is. Before the game, you're preparing your focus. During the game, you're actively managing it using those external cues and your reset routines. And just as important, after the game, you're controlling the story, focusing on one controllable thing to improve instead of just replaying mistakes over and over.
So, as we wrap things up, let's just zoom out for a second to the single most important message you should take away from all of this.
This is everything. The best performers in the world aren't empty-headed robots. They are just incredibly skilled at focusing their thoughts on the things that actually help them perform and letting go of all the mental junk that doesn't. It's about the quality and the direction of your thinking, not the quantity. So to sum it all up, learning to stop overthinking is a skill. It all starts with understanding that it's just a natural biological response. From there, you use simple tools to shift from thinking to doing. You build routines to anchor your focus, and you consistently practice directing your attention to what you can actually control in this present moment. And now I want you to think about this for yourself. When does it happen for you? Is it right after a mistake? Is it before a huge play? Maybe during a timeout? Identifying your personal triggers is the first real step to using these tools effectively. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in.